I'm definitely slow playing my top pair there to make him put his money out bad. Once the turn card comes, he's not he's not calling me with a wide range there, and once he bets out that bet on the turn, I'm pretty sure he got there by hitting either the ace or the queen, and if he's got the queen, he's got a better kicker than I do. So I just go away on my slow play with a hand I thought it was very strong. Turned into a fold for me once the ace hit the turn. He's out, I go away, standard. Fold. And raise the button again with 4-7 suited, get reshoved, and go away. Walk. Call with 7-8. Check, my flush draw, call. Hit the flush, lead out, and he folds. Thought he was pinging me off there, but ace king 8 on the button, get re-raise. This time I'm calling him. He called me once, then bet on the turn, and I went away. He made a reach shove, and I folded. This time I'm really defending my button raise. I don't want them to think that I'm raising with any hand, though I raise almost any hand on the button, three-handed. So I call him pre-flop, just to send him a message, and maybe I would try to take it down if he had not bet there, but he bets, and I just go away on flop. I've sent my message, and no great harm done. Get a walk again, raise Jack 10 this time, and raise a button again with standard trash, and they go away. Check it off, check, he bets, I fold. This time I call with 4 deuce, and lead out on the flop. He calls me, I check. Of course I was in a complete bluff in the hopes of him having not had any heart, but he called me and got there on the river. He was ahead all the time. This time I'm folding the button for the first time. I had king 4 offsuit. It was probably to send them a message as well. I like to mix it up, and I'm very aggressive, so sometimes it's good to show them, hey, he's not raising every hand. Okay, I want to show you this hand. I had folded the button earlier, and I had not done a great lot of re-raising, so he decided to raise there. He doesn't even make it 3 times the big blind, and I know that he is good, so once he was tight, but now that should have passed pretty much, because we're free-handed and he has to stay aggressive. And with the image I had, I was pretty aggressive, but I had not done a lot of re-raising, and when I had done at this table, I had a very strong hand, and I think he will respect that. So I decided to bump it up here with 3-7 offsuit. Actually, my cards don't matter at all in that spot, and he goes away. Can't do that too often, but sometimes you can. Raise the ace 4 on the button, and he folds. Lead out with my draw, he calls. Lead out with the king, and he calls. Now I hit, but I'm checking it off, because I thought maybe he would try to steal. He was somewhat aggressive, but he didn't, and I missed some value there. Had I known that he had a king, I probably would have put out a bet. Missed that, but I got 2 bets in on flop and turn while I was drawing. Okay, this time I'm mixing things up on the button, and I limp with my ace 6. reason why I don't like limping follows. It's top pair, he checks it. I try to steal now on that board against two random hands. Not such a good thing to do, and probably a bad play here. He practiced some avoidance and only calls with his top pair and no kicker at all. Turn brings a second 10 and I fire again. His call might have very well indicated 10, so my turn bet here is bad as well. I should have just checked it on that point. He calls again. River brings a kitten and I decide to fire a third bullet. And he thought for quite a long time, even typed ace-jack in the chat window with a question mark after it. But finally he called, and I had to show a6 and spew a lot of chips there by not raising the button. However, here I raise, he's got pocket fours. I check my ace-3 behind, he checks. Now I bet out again, he calls with fours and we check it again, and I lose another pot against the same guy. Not doing great here. Still a chip leader, however. Limp king 5, he raises, I fold. Fold the button with king tray. I lost 2 pots and was not feeling that good at that point. I'm raising the ace-5 and get the blinds. I'm limping the ace-deuce, flop the flush draw, check it off to him, check it off again, hit the flush, bet out, but he folds. I'd raised the draw earlier and maybe he would figure that out, so I didn't want to raise and get re-raised from that flush draw. I call here out of position with my king-queen. Re-raised him before. King-queen is a pretty good holding three-handed. I re-raised him before, out of position, and I didn't want to get reshoved by ace-high or a pair I had a decent chance of out-flopping against. So I thought my hand was reasonably strong and thought I could play it out of position. So I called. I bet I threw out a bet here on the flop. Immediately didn't want to check raise because a check raise shows I've got the queen. I bet out here in the hopes of getting raised, or I think he has to call this bet with a hand like king jack or ace king or so, because my bet really is small and could indicate a flush draw or none the pair to the queens, but most likely not to bet the queen there, and that's why I thought I'd bet it. He calls with a flush draw, and I don't have him on a flush draw. I have him on maybe a pair or other high cards, not necessarily the flush draw, because I think he has no other choice but to call my flop bet, unless he's got ace queen or so, in which case he might raise. But still, with ace queen you want to slow play that flop. So I checked to him on turn in the hopes of him betting. I thought maybe he would try a bluff now, or felt his pair was good. But he had a draw and he checked behind. On the river, I'm very sure I have him crushed, but his check behind on the turn showed me that he had no pair, and showed me most likely that he wasn't on high cards either, but that he had a draw, and the only draw that fit was a flush draw, and that he was trying to see the next card for free. And since I can't get paid by the flush draw, I check it off to maybe now induce a bluff. But he checks it off again, and I just win with my trip queens. Raise a button with 6 tray and get reshoved. Fold.